Isagi Yoichi is not a striker, and I know this sounds crazy to say, but I have a lot of reasons to believe that. But I also believe that in the future he is going to start behaving like one. In this video we will be talking about his abilities, his character, and the reason why I believe he is not behaving like a striker. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but only if you enjoy. And let me know in the comment what you think about Isagi's current situation. If this video reaches 100 likes, I will be making a video about Ryo Mikage, my favorite character. But without wasting any more of your time, let's get into it. So first thing first, we need to talk about Isagi's abilities. Isagi's main ability is his special awareness. This allows him to read the field almost perfectly. It also gives him the ability to smell goals. His special awareness is ranked amongst the highest in Blue Lock. He is also a genius when it comes to adaptability. Being very good at observing his teammates, his opponents, as well as the situation as a whole, he always finds ways to implement whatever he can from other people's playstyle to his own. For example, we have Naruhaya's off-ball movement, which easily became one of the most important tools in Isagi's kit, allowing him to score goals especially when it counted the most. This adaptability also allowed him to copy Kaiser's movements and way to use his eyes, unlocking Meta Vision for Isagi. Meta Vision is currently Isagi's best ability, allowing him not only to catch up to the other Blue Lockers that went ahead of him, but to even get to a level where he can be a problem for Kaiser. Meta Vision is basically a way to see the field from another plane of existence, a fourth-dimensional vision as Isagi described it. He can see the field as a whole as well as read everybody's movements. There is also the Meta Burst point, which basically gives him the ability to sense the most critical points, allowing him to defend efficiently. He is also very good when it comes to his positioning, his passing ability, as well as his reflexes. Now we need to talk about his character. In my opinion, Isagi is one of the best new-gen MCs. His character and mindset are some of the best I've seen in a while. But the one thing that makes him even better is his evolution. And while a lot of people say that it was too fast or doesn't make sense, I believe the writing behind it is very good. Isagi always had ego to begin with. Even from a young age, after watching professionals as well as Noah play, he just wanted to be like him and play for his goals and everything along those lines. But he immediately got shut down by his coach, who basically mocked him and told him that it doesn't matter and all that matters is the team, resulting in Isagi's ego being sealed. Isagi started playing like all the boring strikers that Japan is trying to create, which is even crazier because that loss at the beginning of the series against Kira's team was because he lacked ego. Instead of taking the shot on what could have been an easy goal, he decided to pass the ball, resulting in his teammate missing. But the invitation to Blue Lock is what changed everything for Isagi. Little by little, Isagi started getting his ego back. The craziest part about this is that at the beginning, in terms of talent, he probably wasn't even in the top 300, because even players like Igaguri and the other randoms from Blue Lock got recruited. But Henry couldn't see anything special in the player. But Isagi made it there because of Ego's decision, which was the best decision he could have ever made. Because Isagi ended up being the one to save Blue Lock and Japan's football. Even though he was doing great during the first selection, it was during the second one that he actually started picking up, especially after encountering Rin and beating Baro. The increase in his vision technique after watching Rin, as well as his off-ball movement that he got from Naruhaya, were some of the most crucial things in his development. So even though he was very underwhelming during the third selection and it looked like he didn't do much during the U20 game, it is during the Neo Egoist League, more specifically during the match against Menshine. After realizing that every other player got ahead of him, whether you're talking about Bachira, Kunigami, Nagi, Ryo, Chigiri or anybody else, Isagi was not him at the beginning of the Neo Egoist League. He was decent when it came to doing the support job, but he wasn't good enough to get past anybody, not even his own teammate Kaiser. But it is after unlocking his Meta Vision that Isagi actually became a threat for anybody on the field. He basically became the game master, being able to see everything, react to everything, and control the way the game is going to go. His character development is insane when you think about the fact that he started as a normal guy. A lot of people like to bring the light novel stuff to try and say that he was not a regular guy, because he already had an abnormal vision and an insane ego before he got sealed. But I still consider him a regular player at the beginning of the show. Having a lot of potential doesn't necessarily make you special. Even though he had a great vision, he didn't have what it takes to utilize that vision, basically making him an average player that couldn't do anything or use that vision against players that are more experienced. But when he started getting better with his special awareness and predictions, that is the moment where he actually became a problem. But outside of just his game, Isagi went through a crazy mental evolution. At the beginning of the show, Isagi is a person that you can bully. Currently in the show, he's the person that will bully you, even if you're stronger, better at the game or anything else above him. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're in his way, he's going to get you. Kaiser is a great example of that. Now it's time to explain why I think that Isagi is not behaving like a striker. The first thing is that no matter how much Isagi talks about scoring his own goals or being the best striker in the world, it just isn't that. As a striker, your role is to score the goals, or at least to ensure that goals are being scored for your team. Meaning that players like Baro, Kunigami, Kaiser, or Nagi, those players have a job in front, meaning that they have to stay there and ensure that they can score goals for their team. But even though you see players like Chigiri, Kaiser, or Bachira sometimes in the back, it isn't really a problem because it is normal for a striker to fall back sometimes to help his team. The problem with Isagi is that he's too worried about intercepting the ball or providing defensive assistance. As we all know, a player cannot do everything on the field. So as a striker, you need to believe in your defenders. You need to trust them to protect your back, while you solely focus on getting forward, getting the ball forward and scoring a goal. Because right now, Isagi has way better defensive fit than offensive fit. His ability to intercept the ball or to provide defensive cover is way better than his ability to dribble or his ability to shoot the ball. Isagi has caused more trouble to Baro this game than to Nico, Aiku, Aryu and any defender. He has more defensive actions against one striker than offensive actions against the whole defense. And as a striker, I don't think it is the right thing to do. Being able to do everything isn't necessarily a problem. But let's take for example the two best players that we know at the moment. If we think about Lorenzo, he's a defender with very great offensive abilities. But we see that his main job is to stay on Kaiser or to play defense and mark players. He simply utilizes the fact that he has a good dribbling ability as well as good speed to help his team go up with the ball. Same goes with Kaiser, who is a striker, who literally makes sure to confirm at least a goal every game. Always well positioned and always ready to score. But since he has a good vision, he's always able to fall back and help his defense. But in the end, you know what his job is. Isagi looks more like a defender or a midfielder than a striker. Isagi right now could literally do what Sai does, except the dribbling. But he would rather be like Kaiser. The midfielder is the most complete player, having the ability to defend, facilitate ball movement as well as score goals, which is exactly what Isagi's kit is geared towards. His shooting ability isn't even that great, like Sendo is better. And if you compare his shooting stat to any other striker, there is a big difference as they are all close to the 90s. And now we have Isagi's kit that is literally a midfielder kit. Great defense, great offense, great passing, decent shooting because even though it isn't the main thing you do, you're still able to do it whenever it needs to be done. And on top of all this, great field vision, which even like it was said in Aoashi or in any non-sport related thing, the person with the good vision should always be in the middle or in the back, being able to see everything in front and around him, allowing him to assist the people in front. Which if we think about, the only thing Isagi had to do to confirm goals and Ubers would have lost already was simply to pass the ball to Kunigami. Even like seen in the Menshine game, Kunigami is always perfectly positioned to receive a pass from Isagi whenever he does his plays. But Isagi wanting to score his own goal does his own thing, which results in more wasted chances. And even his shooting technique, the direct shot, is one of the meanest thing in the show. Whether it was against Sai, Aiku, Kaiser, and even more moments, the moment you make him lose his balance, he cannot shoot anymore because his score is too weak. So not only his shooting technique is not that effective, but it's even harder to use when you consider his specs. But I believe you'll understand what I'm trying to say here. Let me know in the comment what you think about Isagi as a character, as a player, and purely as a striker. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but only if you enjoy. And I will be making a real video if this video reaches 100 likes. I appreciate y'all for coming through and staying to the end. Let me know if you have any criticism or suggestions for future videos, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.